Hi Libra, welcome to your reading for Gemini season. We have some transits going on. Sorry, I had to take a breath real quick. So if you hear me doing that, that's just normal for me. I am an overthinker. I have my moon in an air sign. So you may understand a little bit. But before we get into this whole reading, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell. And if you guys want a personal, my website's below, thewitchswitch.com. All of my services are there. You can email me if you have any questions. All communication is welcomed, okay? And I have some events coming up later in the year. So if you want a personal and you live in New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania area, please check me out. I would love to meet you. And I always find that my personal readings are more insightful and they are personal. So better than online, I think. So let's get started. Libra, that's enough about what I'm doing. Okay. It's like, you know that term, like you have a monkey on your back? You have a lot of, I feel, obligations that you're trying to do, but at the same time it's like there's no motivation to do it. I think you're also torn between, it's like you feel there's certain aspects of your life where you're giving too much and you're either not giving enough or you're draining yourself. Okay. Maybe it's finding that your emotions and money are tied together. So it's like when you're in that space of in love and comfortable and really enjoying your time with the other person, you do a lot. You spend a lot emotionally, in terms of money, you spread yourself out too thin. And then all of a sudden, all of your cups are empty here. And then when they're empty, you're in a position where it's like, I overextended myself way too quickly. And now I want to form a boundary. And I don't want to give anything. So there is, for some of you, it may not be for everyone. It could be someone you know even. But the information I feel like is very apparent for you to take in, regardless if it has to do with you. It could also be feeling like, or noticing if you're like this around a specific person. Okay? Or you notice that there's someone around you who is like this and you're meant to observe them because perhaps there's some part of yourself that does this somewhere. Okay? Doesn't have to be anything major. We have one major arcana here, well, two actually thus far, and that's the Hangman and the Devil. And to me, when these two are together, and now when these two are together, it's like we're kind of complacent with where we are. There's also needing to reflect on this because we've kept ourselves down for so long or in this repetitive cycle. So we're going to have to kind of be a little duplicitous here. We're going to have to see things differently. We've been down this road way too many times. Okay? So let me tell you something. If you are in some kind of conditioning, if you're trying to condition yourself to not give as much as you used to because it's hurt you too many times, you not being able to teach yourself how to reciprocate with the right people and make better judgments, like if you decide to just sit it out all together and not even try, you're just going to be sitting in a throne with this monkey still on your back, but now the monkey is very vicious. So just know that you always have a guide. Why I decide to use animals, I don't know. Maybe some of you believe in spirit animals, right? What about the phrase where it's like there's two wolves within us, and depending on who you feed is the one that you nurture and care for. That's your representative. Same thing. Same concept. You can decide to sit things out and not learn from the experience and just remove yourself altogether. You still would be in a position of being stuck and fixated because you haven't healed. And instead, you're projecting out towards others, which doesn't make you feel happy anyway. You are a person that needs to be nurturing and giving, okay? You like to make others happy. That's just your strength. People feel safe around you. They feel balanced around you. But the opposite happens when you're in a position where you have no empathy or sympathy, and instead, like, just your presence of just being completely still and not engaging and shutting down is still an energy no one wants to be around. Because then they feel abandoned. They feel worthless. All of a sudden, where'd you go? Right? It's like you're here and then you're not. Like Houdini. So we have to be careful of how we think and how we feel about things and how we act upon those feelings and thoughts, because they do project out. You are a sign of commitment and relationship. So you're very good at, they say Libras are charming. You want to know why Libras are charming? Because Libra have this gift of just adapting to the personality of the person that they're with. Gemini has the same adaptability, okay? But you can change your entire reality to fit someone else's. And it's very comforting, and it makes the other person feel that in your presence, we are very valued and important. But that's kind of your love language. That's what you do, but you don't always feel your feelings through. So you can be this person knowing that someone's going to love you for it doesn't mean you love them in return. So, right? Like, I don't know if you've noticed this within your presence. Again, this is not everyone, and it doesn't have to be a very extreme kind of manipulation tactic, although for some it can. But if you're unaware of it, this is how you do offend and hurt others, and this is how it comes back to you. So it's like a circle that it's infinite. Okay? So let's be mindful of where we want to put our energy and how we want to spend it, and instead teach ourselves to only be that adaptable and considerate for the people we absolutely care about. Right? You can still do for others, but there are levels to it. Maybe it's finding a medium, like give yourself a 1 to 3 level. Is this worth a 3? Is this worth a 1? Should I invest in this? Where's the extremity? And I think maybe doing that can help you make a decision better. It's basically rating your feelings and then understanding what needs your time and energy and what doesn't. What's worth putting yourself in harm's way or hurt for? If it's not worth it, drop it. And that you will do. And once you figured out this kind of a mentality, you kind of get yourself out, which is great, because you go from the 3 of Swords to just like realizing I think you probably hit, I don't want to say like rock bottom, but for you, the 5 of Pentacles is. So it's a state of feeling abandoned, lack of security, structure, stability, whether that's in terms of physicality, whether that's in terms of monetary things, money, whether that's in terms of love and being valued, okay? Anything that you feel that being in this position is your rock bottom, and you will be able to propel yourself out of it very strongly and in your element. The air changes, and that's because you realize you have better control of those scales. You can change it very gracefully and with principle, which I know you value. So good things. Gemini season is all about taking information in, and it's needing to also be duplicitous. Okay, Gemini has the 2 faces. So it's being able to be both at the same time. It's finding the even playing field that makes you happy and comfortable while also establishing boundaries for yourself and being able to give to others. That is the sweet spot. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. But this experience will come, all right, and things will get better, no worries. All right, I'm gonna pull cards from the shadow deck. These are questions I'm gonna ask, evaluate them. Let me know in the comments if they resonate at all. All communication is welcomed, okay? Who do you take your anger out on the most? And what situations are most likely to activate your anger? That's a good one. That's a way to control our anger and understand where it comes from, so we have a better understanding on how to control it. And then, as I said, you know, you just kind of ask yourself, is this a 1 to 3 scale? 3 being the worst, 1 being the most bearable to deal with. What rating is it on? Is it worth your time or your anger to act out on it? Okay, this one's interesting. I've never seen this one before. Complete the following sentences. If blank was true about me, I would be scared. If blank was true about me, I would be horrified. Unpack why this is the case. All right, Libra, and let's take out the Moonology card. It's a time to give rather than take. And surrender to the divine. All right, Libra, I will leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell. If you want a personal reading, it's below. My events are below as well, so come meet with me in person. And if you have any questions, my email is below as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.